right, so welcome to Gentle Yoga. Recording is beginning so we can hear and treasure this time together. All right, so I'm gonna mute us all. We can certainly have time to chat afterwards. But for now, let's get started. All right. Sasha, you are looking very ready, but I'm gonna put you on your little blankie. Okay, sit down. That's it. So she's ready too. I think my camera might need one little bit of an angle here. Tiny little angle. So I think that's good. So, you know, I gotten in the habit for almost a year of writing weekly emails. I was writing that weekly, and you know, I'm not so sure if I was doing it to keep myself sane or just to have that opportunity to share what I was working on with others. And then I got to a point last month where I said, oh, this is too much. I'm writing every single week. And I just said, okay, I'm going to do once a month. And then May came, and it was like May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd. I was like, I was supposed to write my May newsletter. And I was laughing at myself because really I'd just gotten out of the habit. And I find that when I put my thoughts or what I'm working on paper, and I really write it down, because I write with a pen and paper first before I type it in, then it kind of solidifies it for me, or it's almost maybe a deeper level of reminder. So I don't know if any of you guys journal or write or do any of that, but this little experience for me was a reminder at how much I need to do that. And if you haven't done it, I suggest trying. I actually take a writing course every week, and we do this, what my teacher calls bewilderness writing. And she gives us like an inspirational poem and some kickoff lines and some thoughts, and then like poof, we write, and everyone's writing goes in other directions, and it's really fantastic, really fantastic. So Deepak Chopra has a famous quote, and it is, if your attention is attracted to negative situations and emotions, then they will grow in your awareness. And it's so true, right? So like when, you know, the pandemic first hit and we were all like, oh my God, am I going to get sick? Are people going to, I love going to, who's somebody going to die? Like, how do I keep myself, right? It's all that focus. And all of a sudden it seemed like this monstrous like storm. It was this storm, at least it was for me. I'm gonna guess it was for a lot of other people. And so, you know, as time went on, I started to bring my focus into other areas, and then it's not like COVID disappeared. It's still there, but perhaps it is not this giant black cloud. So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and just start with focusing in on your breathing, knowing that what you put your attention on grows. So if suddenly your intention is on, or your attention is on gardening or doing projects in your house, or maybe a celebration that you're planning, that grows and grows your attention. And so if that attention can stay positive, then that positive energy grows with it. And so where is your attention? And for this moment, can you bring your attention to the actual physical truth and reality of what is right now, where you are in this moment? Feel yourself seated on your mat. Feel the air around you, touching your skin, going in and out of your mouth or your nose. And see if you can shift that breathing to just be in and out of the nose. And then start to shift that breathing into a controlled breath. So Ujjayi breathing, that's the constriction, that slight constriction of the back of the throat, where it slows the breath down and it creates a little bit of this ocean-like sound. So Ujjayi breathing is often called oceanic breath. See if you can hear or feel that on both the inhale and the exhale. So it's not aggressive, but it is apparent, obvious, so that you can have your attention there, this little vibration. And if you're not sure how to make that breath, or you're feeling a little confused about it right now, think about pulling the tongue slightly back into the back of the mouth, making just a little less space in the airway. Enough for the breath to keep going in and out. But enough for it to create a little vibration. So this Ujjayi breath, we were to translate that word Ujjayi from Sanskrit to English, the word would be victory or victorious. So this is known as the breath of victory. So bring your hands to your heart center, chin down to chest. And I feel that if we can bring our attention to the positive, then we are quite victorious. And I know it's not going to be all the time, every moment and every thought, but it's something we can work on. When you're ready, allow the eyes to open. Take your next inhale, reach the arms up. Good. And as you exhale, turn the palms away from you and slowly let the arms come down. So continue that Ujjayi breath. So maybe make it your attention. Inhale up and exhale down. And so noticing that the pace of the movement of the arms, it takes a lot of concentration and a lot of attention to have it be in the same pace, like just as slow as that breath. So do it like maybe 2 or 3 more cycles. Perhaps you can pay closer attention if the eyes are closed. Beautiful. The next time the arms come up, hold them there. Turn the palms to face forward, hinge forward, and take a forward fold. So hands to the floor, slowly allowing the spine to round. And just breathe here, feeling the change in the sensation in the body. So again, ask yourself that question. Where is my attention? Where is my attention? Right. And not only in this moment of the here and now, but in general in your life right now. Where are you putting the majority of your attention?
Is it on something that serves you? And if it's not, how can you shift it? Slowly lift the head up,
walk your hands over to the left, and then fold yourself back down over that left thigh to whatever degree is available. Maybe you can walk that right arm a little further out so you get a nice stretch from the sitting bone or the hip through the entire side body on the right. So pay attention to that breathing again. And if you feel like all of a sudden breathing becomes too difficult, too challenging, or not available, then let that be the number one attention and indicator that you should shift in a way so that you can breathe well. And I'm going to plant that left hand to the left outside of that left thigh. With the next inhale, sweep that right arm up and then maybe extend it over, bicep by ear. Left arm can be soft. Good. And then seeing if you can notice if you are holding onto tension anywhere else that you're not even aware of, like the jaw, right? Or the gut. Good. One more breath in. Turn the head to look down again toward that left hand. Lower the right one. Walk through center. Pause in the center here. Take another breath in. And another breath out. Are you still using Ujjayi breath? When you are ready, lift the head up and walk the hands over to the right and settle back down over that right thigh. Maybe reaching a little longer out of that left arm, awakening lower back, side body, maybe armpit, maybe tricep. Like, where is your attention? Can it still be here and now on the sensations of this moment? When you're ready, that right hand is going to come out to the right. Use an in-breath to sweep that left arm up and over, maybe softening the right elbow, maybe changing the position of the head. Just feel that nice extension on the left and breathe. Beautiful. Can you still create that little constriction in the back of the throat? Victorious breath. One more inhale. Exhale, turn the head to look back down again. Lower the left arm and walk back through the center. Pause in the center. And then lift the head up, look toward the fingers, and maybe you can even lift the heels of the hands, right? I'm going to back up a little so you can see me better, right? Lifting up the heels of the hands, tenting, right? Like spider fingers. Good. One more breath in. Exhale, soften the head and roll yourself back up. Ah, good. Coming up to a seated position. And uncross those legs and straighten them out. Let's take a few moments to flex and point through the feet. All right, so I'm leaning back into the hands behind me. Point the toes, take a nice inhale. Flex the toes. All right, so we're moving really slowly. Little constriction of the throat with every cycle of breath. That ankle joint is going to shift from a point to a flex. Good. And then the next time you're in the flex position, hold it there. Walk the hands forward so that the hands are on the outside of the hips. Palms facing down, right? See if you can make a connection with the floor. You could always use blocks here, right? Like I can see Ellen has really long arms, right? So she's got a bend in the elbow, right? You probably don't even need blocks here. I have a very short arm, so you can see that I barely can touch, right? My elbow isn't bent. And if I want to really get good grounded and pressure, I kind of have to lean forward, which we don't want to do. We want to sit up nice and tall. So I can't really see Rochelle's arms too well here, but if you need blocks, use them, right? So I'm going to take those blocks or palms on the ground, push down firmly, right? Shoulders draw back and down, feet are flexed, legs are engaged. This is called Dandasana, staff pose. Right, so sit up tall. Where's your attention, right? Right here on the strong, healthy body. One more breath. And as you exhale, soften, and let's bend that left leg and open it out to the left. So this is called Janu Shirsasana. Love to say that word. Sole of foot to the inside of the thigh. Right foot is flexed, nice and strong. With an in breath, reach those arms up. Good. And with an exhale, let's lower that left hand down to the floor. Lean to the left. Just see how that feels right there. And if you're able to, you can lift up that right sitting bone, that right cheek, prop up on that shin. Oh, and extend. There's that side body. Can you really root into the sole of that foot on the ground? Really reach and extend, and still finding Ujjayi, the breath of victory. One more inhale. And exhale, slowly sweep gracefully back down. Good. Center the torso. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, let's twist and rotate, open to the left. All right, so holding on to the outside of that thigh or that knee, gazing over the left shoulder, and breathe. Good. And then inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Facing over that straight leg, get a little bit of length out of the left side, a little bit of length out of the right side. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hinge and fold, Janu Shirsasana. Doesn't matter where the hands land, wherever they are, just be. Take a couple of breaths. That knee could always be bent. Good. And then slowly rise up with an in-breath. Good, and let's take that left leg, bring it up, keep it bent, yeah? And then you're gonna bring the arm to the inside. So there's a connection now between the knee or the inside of the thigh and that tricep muscle, yeah? Take that right arm, sweep it out to the right, and take a little twist. You can also bring that right hand all the way to the floor behind you for a little more anchor. All right, so notice if those right toes are nice and flexed, and that left foot, right, is pushing down, especially in the big toe mound. If you feel like your left knee is kind of just drooping out to the left, maybe you shift that left foot over an inch or two to the left and really give a good squeeze. So that knee or that inside of the knee is touching that tricep, and the tricep is giving a little resistance. Oh yeah, good. One more breath in. And exhale, soften and release, straighten through the left and bend the right. Good. Sit up nice and tall again. Hands to heart center, flex left toes. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right hand comes down and we lean over to the right. And then we decide if we want to prop up onto that shin and elongate the whole left side of the body. If you do, really root into that left foot on the floor, push. Reach through the left fingers, feel the amazing stretch, right? And so if we put our attention to what we think is hard or what we can't do, right, or what's difficult or what's not available, then we're not putting our attention into what we want to grow. So grow the positive. One more breath. Exhale gracefully, sweeping it down. Good. And center yourself, hands to the heart. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, twist to the right. Good. Looking over that right shoulder, left toes are still flexed, and breath is victorious. Good. Next inhale, both arms sweep forward and up. Center yourself over that straight leg. Get a little longer out of each side. Take one more breath. And exhale, forward fold. And I think it's okay to take time to contemplate where you are putting your attention and where you might want to shift to put your attention. Good. Remember, you can always keep that knee a little bent if you need. You don't have to go so far. Feel the sensations and breathe. On your next inhale, rise up and let's straighten, not straighten, lift that right leg, right? A little bit of space between the foot and the thigh. Arm comes to the inside and we start to give a little squeeze so that outer hip works a little bit. Yeah, left arm out to the left, big breath in, and exhale, twist. So the arm could be extended or it could come back behind you for a deeper rotation. And so feel the traction, feel the resistance, feel your own strength. So good, so good. One more breath. And then slowly unravel that open twist, come back to the center, straighten both legs. All right, hands down by your sides, toes flex, palms press, maybe blocks or not, right? And then you can kind of play, if you've got a good bend in the elbow here, right? You could see if you can push a little and maybe get the tush off the ground. Yeah, maybe lower down, just kind of play around with that. Big breath in, exhale, push and lift. Maybe it goes a millimeter, or maybe just the palms are pressing and the tush doesn't lift. Lower down. Now, see here if you can lift the heels, right? So try not to lean back too much, right? The whole leg is really engaged. Good. One more inhale. And exhale, soften. Good. Remove blocks if you're using them. Let's bend those knees and come into a tabletop. So good. So hands and knees, you know the drill. All right. And so take a moment to explore a little bit, maybe some side to side motion, maybe a little forward and back motion. See how the wrists feel, right? Do you need a wrist stretch in other directions? Sometimes I like to put my palm facing up, right? And I just recommend doing one at a time. If you feel like you want to stretch the wrists out a little bit more before we use them some more. You can even do a dancing lion here. And if you do a dancing lion, go in both directions. So just kind of move through that body. Find, explore, and put your attention on your body and how it feels. And then take a moment to tap into child's pose, lowering the hips to the heels, head to the floor. And take about 2 or 3 breaths here. Can you come back to that Ujjayi breath if you have lost attention to it? Sometimes in child's pose, the victorious breath is really easy to connect to here, really easy to hear here. Good. And then lift the head, lift the sitting bones, come back to your table. And then extend your right leg straight back behind you. Let's rock forward and back again. Oh, stretch out the back of the leg there. And then center yourself and strong in your core. See if you can elevate that right leg, right? So just lifting it up off the floor. You can always stay down on the floor. Right, so the leg is active and strong, just like when you were in Dandasana, right? The heel was pressing away from you, and somehow it feels really different here because it involves the core a lot. All right, so pay attention to that right hand, right? Pushing down particularly into the big knuckle joints of the pointer finger and the thumb. And then see if you can extend your left arm forward. If you need to keep the left fingertips on the ground to do so, you can. Or try for Chakrasana, a spinal balance here. All right, look for that victorious breath. In and out with a slight constriction of the back of the throat. Can always come out sooner if you need. On your next exhalation, lower the hand, lower the knee, come back to child's pose, maybe even taking traditional child's pose where the arms come all the way back behind you and the palms face upward, right? So that you are having the palms facing up and the backs of the hands down. You can make fists here and roll your wrists if they feel a little tight and cranky. Wiggle the fingers. And then with an inhale, sweep the arms forward, rise on up. Back to your table and left leg extends when your table is all aligned. Rock forward and back. Looking good. All right, so we know where we're going. Settle yourself in center and float the left leg. Keep it active like Dandasana, just like the staff pose. Heels pressing, right? Muscle hugging onto bone, breath flowing freely. Pay attention to left hand, especially big knuckle joints of pointer and thumb. And then extend right arm forward. Spinal balance here, right? Maybe bicep muscle by the ear, gaze is down toward the fingers on the floor. And how is that victorious breath? You guys look gorgeous. All right, one more breath of victory here. And then exhale, hand down, knee down, hips to heels, and sweep those arms back again, palms up, backs of hands on the floor, shoulders soften and relax. Oh, good. All right. On your next inhale, sweep the arms forward. As they come forward, lift the head and chest, rise on up to the shins. Good, lifting up, beautiful. Let the right hand take the left wrist, take a big inhale, exhale, lean to the right. Good, inhale back to the center and exhale, lean to the left. Good. Inhale, center, exhale, release hands down to table, tuck toes under and lift your hips, downward facing dog. Paddle out the feet. And move the head a little side to side, maybe yes and no. Right. Maybe hips side to side. And then find some stillness in your down dog. Resist the urge to fidget for 3 breaths. Maybe your breaths are longer or shorter than mine. After your 3rd exhalation, look forward, and we're going to step the right foot forward and lower the left knee down. Good. All right, so you can untuck the left toes and then walk that right foot over to the right, maybe an inch or 2, so that your hands can come to the inside. So the right arm is on the inside. Hands are flat. You can use blocks here. So if the hands are struggling to get flat on the floor, use your blocks, right? And then see again if you can make that connection, right, with that inside of the thigh or inside of the knee onto the tricep or the shoulder, right? So you feel a little squeeze there. This is a lizard lunge. And then tuck those left toes under and lift that left knee up. Good. So active and strong. Left leg is hugging. Core is strong. Right leg is hugging in toward the arm. Breath is flowing freely. Good. Now we're going to take that right hand, bring that right hand to the right thigh above the knee, and then roll that shoulder open here. Beautiful. And then see if you can make a full twisted extension. Right arm up to the ceiling if that feels good for you. You can always lower the left knee. Yeah, and just notice how much of your body weight are you collapsing into that left wrist. Yeah, feel it. Maybe you even get light on that left wrist by coming up on your fingertips if that's available. Just use your core a little bit more. Oh, so good. One more breath. And exhale, lower that right hand down. Good. And let's step that left foot up, right? And bring it to the outside of the left pinky. So it's a wide forward fold. Nice wide forward fold. Good. All right, let the head hang here. Let the knees be soft. Let the spine get traction. And then grab opposite elbows here and sway a little side to side. Can you find your victorious breath? I think when our attention is on the positivity that we want to see grow, it does feel like a victory. And then release the hands, bring the fingers to the floor. Let's heel toe the feet a little closer together so they're hips distance. Right, bring your fingers to your shins. Inhale, halfway lift up, lengthen the spine, rock some weight in the toes. Right, try to get a nice flat back here. And then exhale, fold. Good. One more time, Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway, lift up and lengthen. Exhale, fold deeply, chin to chest. Soften those knees. Sweep the arms out to the side, and nice and slow as your breath, rise on up. And exhale, hands to the heart, pause in Samastitihi. Equal standing posture. Feel that ocean rolling in the back of the throat. Nice. On an inhale, arms reach up. On an exhale, swan dive, maybe a nice soft bend in the knees, forward fold. Fingers to your shins, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold, hands to the floor, step back into your downward facing dog. Position yourself and then find your stillness. You could always take child's pose instead if you need it. 3 breaths in stillness here. After your 3rd exhalation, look forward and step that left foot to the outside of that left pinky and lower that right knee down. So that lizard lunge on the other side. Take your time organizing and then make a connection, right? So that the thigh, the inside of that knee and the tricep muscle are touching, right? And then tuck the right toes under, lift that right knee, lunging position, right? That's an option, not mandatory. How's your breath? You might notice that when you activate your legs and your core, you have a lot less pressure on the wrists here. Good. One more breath in. And then let's slowly lift that left hand, bring it to that left thigh above the knee, start to roll the shoulder open, look over that left shoulder, and then maybe extending that left arm up toward the ceiling. Real tendency here to get heavy in that right wrist. So see if you can use your core, get a little lighter, maybe come up on the fingertips. And breathe. Good. Slowly allow your exhale to unravel the twist. And then we're going to step forward. Maybe it's 1 or 2 steps for the right foot to come wide again. Right? Wide again. Good. And with this nice wide-legged stance here, I'm going to ask you to turn the toes out slightly. Right? So it's more like a pigeon-toed. Yeah. And then bend those knees and start to rock a little side to side, getting into the hips a little more. Yeah. Coming into a pose we call Malasana. So Malasana can be done with blocks, right? So find your stillness. If you feel like squatting down this deep is too much for you, you can always take a block or 2 and sit on a block like so. That's an option. Right? Or maybe you want to just work on it without. Good. Bring the hands to the heart center. Sit up nice and tall. And with those elbows on the inside of the knees, squeeze the knees together and resist with the arms. Yeah. Right. And so notice when you do that, when you squeeze the knees together and you resist with the arms, the whole pelvic floor gets stronger, right? The whole medial glutes, perineum muscle. Good. Breath in, breath out. Ujjayi, 1 more. And as you exhale, hands come down to the floor, slowly straighten through the legs. And as you do, dial the toes to point forward. So it's a wide-legged forward fold again. Good. And just hang and breathe. Beautiful. And then lift the toes, make the toes wider again, out on an angle, back to Malasana. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bend those knees, drop the bottom down, maybe rock a little side to side, finding that good position. And then remember, you can always use blocks here. Good. So if you're super flexible here, right? Make sure that the whole groin and crotch is not just dropping down to the floor. Good. Let's take that right hand and open it out to the right. So there's still some resistance, right? That knee is pushing in as the arm is reaching out. Take that left arm, reach it up. Look up toward the left fingertips. Good. Breath in and breath out. Beautiful. Now, option, you could take that left arm, bend the elbow and wrap it around your back, opening the shoulder here, right? If you have a full bind, if that's something that's available to you, you could, right? You could reach for the fingers. I'm going to turn myself to the side so you can see what that would look like, right? It's not mandatory by any means, but it might be available. Or we can just leave an extension. One more breath in. And exhale, lower the hand down or unravel the hands. You're going to come back to a forward fold, dial the toes forward, hang for a moment and breathe. Can you still find Ujjayi, breath of victory here? And all right, one more inhale. And as you exhale, dial the toes out again. Put a smile on your face. Where is your attention? Lower those hips down. Maybe rock a little side to side. And then a lot of times, right, when it comes to the second side, we know what to expect. So maybe it's not so challenging mentally. Yeah. So let's extend that left arm out to the left. Let that left leg give a good hug in, right? So there's a connection there. You can't see how much I'm working, but it's there. Right arm reaches up. And this could be enough right here. Good. Or maybe you take that left arm, wrap it around your back. Maybe you want to go for that full bind if it's available. It's not available for me today on this side. My shoulders are not quite warmed up enough, so I'm going to be okay with that. Breath in and breath out. Unravel the bound arm or extended arm, hands come forward. And as you forward fold, straighten those toes and fold in. Good. Soften the knees, bring the hands to the back of the calves. And as you rise up, trace the back of your body, trace the back of your legs. Rise on up nice and slowly. Good, until the hands come to the hips. Good, pause there. Beautiful. Nice breath in. Nice breath out. Beautiful. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. All right, let's heel toe our feet to the hips distance. Yeah. All right, toes pointing forward. Good. Hands come back to the hips. And then turn the hands to fingertips to point down the back of the tush and soften the knees. Slide right back down to that forward fold. Slide and trace, slide and trace. Oh, so good. All right, now bringing the hands to the floor in front of the feet. The knees can stay as bent as you need, right? Let's take that right foot and just step it back so the toes are touching, right? So I got my toes kind of tapping back behind me. There's really no weight going on into those right toes, yeah? And then get a little lighter on those fingertips again. Right? Maybe gazing slightly forward and see if you can float that right leg straight back behind you into a flexed position. So just like you did when you were in that spinal balance down on your knees, yeah, you might see if you can bring the arms out like wings and bring the torso parallel. Maybe even extending the arms forward. That might be a tall order. Yeah, for a warrior 3 variation, a little wibbly and wobbly for me today, but I'm going to be okay with that. Yeah, how's your breathing?
Good. And when you are ready, slowly bring the hands back down, soften the left knee, bring the right foot next to the left. This time, bring them as close as you can. Bend your knees and pop a squat, just let the heels pop up. Yeah, so you're coming out of that big stretch in the hamstring. Yeah, and out of the big open hips from before. Puja squat. Good. One more breath. Let's play with a little balance in puja. Lift your head up. Stay on the balls of the feet. Maybe the fingertips get really light and floaty. Maybe you can bring your hands to your heart center, lifting the crown above the tailbone, knees slightly down, right? And so in this moment, can you squeeze those inseams of the legs, those inseams of the thighs, just like below the knee, right? Just like you did on resisting on the arms earlier in a couple of poses, squeeze them together. Good. One more breath. And exhale, hands come down and forward fold. Heel toe, the feet just enough apart so they're hips distance, probably 2 clicks or so. And then we're gonna step the left foot back, right? Toes on the mat. Just sort of feel that. Maybe a little softness in the right leg. And when you feel ready, lifting that left leg up, working on a standing L shape, right? Where the toes are pointing down, the leg is extended, just like Chakrasana. And maybe you float those hands out like wings into Degasana, or bring the arms forward like Warrior 3. So many options here. And so, how's your Ujjayi breathing here? How is the victorious breath? When you're ready, slowly soften the standing leg, hands come back down, the left foot comes to meet the right, feet together to touch, and pop that little puja squat again. Good. Maybe once again, practicing your balance, squeezing the thighs together, rising up, right, really on the balls of the feet. Maybe arms reach out and up. And if you're able to, right hand holds left wrist and you can lean to the right. Really different than when we were down on the shins. Come back to the center. Breath in. Exhale, switch hands and lean to the left. Back to the center and slowly lower the hands down. And then see here if you can lower the heels down and whoop, maybe plop down or maybe sit with grace. I did a little plop, that's okay. All right, happy moment. Find your way onto your back. Lay on down, conscious resting pose. Knees bent, feet on the floor, hands on your torso, one on your belly, one on your heart. Find Ujjayi breath again. Maybe surprisingly feel the strength of your heartbeat there. And then release the arms, lift that right leg up, hug the knee into the chest, lengthen the back of the neck, and extend the left leg long. Beautiful. Flex and point both feet. And then switch sides, hugging left in, slowly extending right. Point and flex a few times. Now place that left foot on the floor and let's lift the right leg up and cross it over the left. So it's knee over knee. All right, nice squeeze into the midline here. Open the arms out like wings. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, lift those knees up toward the chest and lower those knees and hips over to the left and turn the gaze to the right if that's comfortable for your neck. Now you could always do the same twist without that cross there. It's a really nice way to stretch out that outer glute, medial glute muscle that's been working so strong. Try not to fidget, but to come back to your victorious breath. Using an inhalation to come back to center, uncross the legs and just pause with wide arms and bent knees. Big inhale, big exhale. Lifting that left foot, crossing it over knee. Lifting that right foot up. And as you exhale, letting the knees relax to the right as the head turns to the left. Mhm. One more cycle of breath. And then slowly bring everything back to the center. Uncross those legs. And then let's let the soles of the feet come together. The knees open wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. Arms reach up and over the head. We bend elbows and grab opposite elbows, wrists, or fingers, or maybe even just keep them like a wide V. 3 or 4 really good cycles of Ujjayi breath here. Slowly release the arms, bring them down by your sides, and perhaps use your hands to help close those legs up together, extending your legs down your mat. Make your feet wider than your hips. Let them flop open. And let's take a moment here to do a little body scan. So extend the arms out, away from the body, palms upward. Soften those palms and the fingers, let them curl. Let the arms get heavy and the shoulders relax. Feel the back of the head connected to the mat, supported by the earth. Relax the torso and the hips, the legs and the feet. Soften the soles of the feet and the toes. So as calm and as relaxed as you may feel here, can you allow yourself to find even 5% more relaxation, letting the body spread like water, and the earth just holds you up. Bring your attention back to your breathing. But for the first time in this practice now, we tune into natural breath. No more controlled breathing. While you hold on to this beautiful stillness in this moment, come back to ask yourself that question: where is my attention most? And if that attention is mostly on an area that isn't positive, how can you make a change for yourself? Begin to deepen the breath. Maybe wiggling or stretching here. Any way that serves you. To eventually rock onto one side. And in your own way, in your own time,
coming back to a comfortable seat. Om Shanti, 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 He. Om peace, peace, peace. May this practice always be a source of peace for you, a place where you can find the victory, a place where you can remind yourself of so many things that you already know. Thank you so much for coming out to practice with me today, for sharing your beautiful energy with me and with each other. Wishing you a terrific Tuesday. Namaste.
Thank you, Amy. Wonderful
My
as always.
pleasure. Thank you, girls.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank